I'm just extremely pale. Welcome back to NGMI, the show with hot questions and even hotter links. Hot failures and even hotter money problems. Hot. Here on NGMI every week we talk about a lesson that we learned in our very real accounting business that we're building in real time, which you can follow along by clicking the like and the subscribe button and that little notification bell, ba-ding, so that you can see every single episode and every single lesson that we learn, because if you're building a business, then you need other people to build a business with. And that's what we do here, is build a business together. So a lot of people, and by a lot of people, I mean a handful of people on the internet that I've never met before,
got mad at me.
We partnered together with Jason Stats, and he came here to California to roast our accounting firm and tell us what we can do better. He also put out some details about our firm online in order to kind of collect some feedback about our business from other accountants. One of the big sticking points for people seemed to be, why do you have an employee? What's wrong with you? You see, we're a very young accounting firm, we're a very new business, we've only been around for a couple of years, you know, we're trying to grow, we're doing marketing, we're doing all of these things that a normal company does at this phase. But typically, when you're growing a brand new business, you want to remain as lean and as mean as possible. No expense over what you absolutely need. You cut out everything. You eat ramen for months. There's nothing wrong with running a skeleton crew in your business. If you're a single business owner and it's just you, that's great. If you're making enough money and you like what you do,
fantastic.
Or if you're trying to grow your firm and you're bringing on your first hire in order to outsource some of the tasks that you just don't have the bandwidth to accomplish, that's great. But as a lot of businesses grow, they don't build in something that's extremely vital for their survival. They allow their employees to focus solely on the job that they do, expand into even other jobs that only they can get done, where no one else knows what that employee does. You see, businesses oftentimes, as they grow, they silo employees into these distinct categories, into these distinct jobs. There's no cross collaboration because you need to stay as lean as possible to save as much money as you can. But then someone gets sick, someone has a baby, and you're screwed. You see, it's my belief that there is a key component that most business owners miss out when they build their first business. And that component is summed up into one very simple word: redundancy. Now, redundancy is this concept that's very common in engineering, right? Where we have a server, for example, and if that server fails, then we have a backup that we can divert all of our users to in order to keep the business and the operation of the software going. This is not how most business owners think, at least at the beginning, because what they believe is that they need to be as lean as possible with absolutely no redundancies because it costs more to have a redundancy. And of course, what I mean by redundancy is someone else who can do a vital job. You see, when you only have one person doing an extremely important job, if that person ever gets sick or has to go out on leave or has a baby, no one else is able to pick up where they left off because no one else knows how to do their job like they do. And for this reason, we get into these extremely stressful situations in our businesses where we grow to be amazing multi-million-dollar companies run by a team of 6 people. You have someone for sales, someone for marketing, someone for finance, an executive, someone to oversee HR or people and hiring and recruiting, and then you have someone operationally to make sure that everything gets done and that customers are managed. But that means that if a vital component, one of those people in your business falls off, if they can no longer do their job, you're screwed. Austin and I have built into our business redundancy in the form of Blake, our employee, who does a phenomenal job at everything that we give him. Today, Blake is handling a lot of the important functions of our accounting day to day, week to week, month to month. Austin is overseeing him, but Blake does the actual work of that accounting, while Austin is able to focus on client management and I can focus directly on sales. You see, since the business only started with the two of us, me and Austin, it was extremely tenuous if one of us got sick, if one of us needed to go out for a family emergency, or if one of us just needed a break. Since we have Blake, I actually have the opportunity now to focus completely on sales. I can go out and work on getting us new contracts, new clients, do marketing, oversee the blog content that we're putting on the website, do everything involved in actually growing the business. And I can completely trust that Austin and Blake are going to do a fantastic job allowing each other and enabling each other to do great work for our clients.
Totally unrelated mean break. Totally unrelated mean break.
And I can be confident that if Blake needs a break or gets sick or has an emergency, that he can go and take care of that because Austin deeply and intimately knows the position that he is in and can fulfill his work obligations and duties. Similarly, if Austin were to go down and he needed someone else to cover his role and responsibilities for a small amount of time, I can jump in and fill that temporarily while he takes care of whatever might come up. And finally, if I were to go down, if I were to get massively sick or have a family emergency or whatever it is, I'm entirely confident that Austin could come in and operate the sales side of the business for a small amount of time. And he's done it before. My point is that redundancies allow things to go wrong because everything that can go wrong when you start a new small business will go wrong. So you have to build into your business that expectation and account for that so that you can still function even when things go horribly left. By building in those redundancies, you can actually create more efficiency for your business, more work-life balance for your employees so that people aren't overwhelmed, and you can actually make sure that you're building something that is sustainable in the long run. It frees you up to actually focus on the most important parts of running your business. By cross-educating and allowing each other to be aware of the roles that we're playing in our business and making sure that everybody is aligned on the goals and what we're doing, it creates a much more cohesive environment and much more supportive too. It's the culture that I want to build and one that I think everybody would want to be a part of. So that's why we have redundancies in our business. And that's why we have absolutely no intention of getting rid of those redundancies. They're actually vital for us to be successful in this business. Because as we continue to grow, as we continue to expand, it's just going to get more and more chaotic and we'll need to rely more and more on each other in order for this thing to work. Eventually, we'll bring on more people, more hiring, so that we can actually build to the point where we want this business to be. And redundancy helps us to ensure that everybody gets taken care of and that the business can survive when someone goes down. Because we all know that I'm going down often. My pancreas doesn't work. I mean, like, people on the internet got mad at me because my mom loves me.